Hello and welcome to another edition of Momentum. I'm your host, John Bricado. Our first guest is Sarah Lee, Assistant Clinical Professor and Director of Undergraduate Studies in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you, John. Glad to be here.
I understand that your colleague and you, Vamitra White, actually just won an NSF Includes grant, and I thought we might begin with you telling us about that grant and the type of work that it's going to fund.
Okay, well, we were awarded the grant in November 2016. It's part of the National Science Foundation's Includes project, which is intended to bring the STEM discipline to underrepresented groups across the country. So not just computing, which is what our project is focused on, but other STEM subjects as well. We decided in our proposal to focus on computing for women in Mississippi. I know from being a faculty member in computer science and software engineering that women are largely underrepresented in that field. I also know from my career in industry that women are largely underrepresented. So we decided to focus on that area. And our project is called the Mississippi Alliance for Women in Computing.
Okay, all right. And I understand that that's a fairly selective process. So how many Includes grants were
there were
total?
several hundred that were submitted, and this was the first round for this. This was a new program at NSF, and there were 37 selected out of the country. So we were very, very happy to bring that here to Mississippi.
That's impressive. And how does this align with other initiatives like Code Mississippi? I know that's another organization.
Right, we work really closely with them. I mean, that organization was spawned from the Innovate Mississippi, which is an organization based in Jackson, Mississippi, and their objectives are to bring coding and computer science to all of the students or all of the young people in the state of Mississippi. Certainly there's a lot of underrepresented groups, not just women, in this state. So our efforts are focused on women, but we do work closely with them.
So what might be special about coding that makes it a fertile area for innovation and diversity of a number of underrepresented groups?
Well, there's a lot of design that's involved with building computing systems, and if we only have one segment of the population that's at the table designing the systems and the applications of tomorrow, then we're missing out on a large amount of the population. 48% of our public school children in the state of Mississippi are female, and if we're not growing that segment of the population on the computing pathway, then there's a lot of creativity and ideas from their perspective that we'll miss out on in the computing profession.
And I imagine an effort like this is good for recruitment, both into computer science as a field, but also into computer science at Mississippi State. Is that something that I guess you've thought about in terms of how you want to approach this?
Well, absolutely. We have some programs that are based at Mississippi State, but with the Includes project that we have being a collective alliance, the goal is to involve people across the state, and then ultimately, in a later phase, make this more of a southern regional project. We want these types of programs that engage women in computing all across the state, not just at Mississippi State. And we had a lot of success this summer in spawning those. And I also work closely with the College of Education. We've been offering teacher professional development in the summers and are working to develop some courses for pre-service teachers that hopefully will get more computer science into the classrooms in the state of Mississippi. Okay. So the more students that are exposed, and the more who potentially will become engaged and want to persist on the pathway. And like I said, 48% of the public school children in the state are female.
Okay. How does that translate to numbers in computer science at Mississippi State? I mean, what's the percentage in terms of male versus female in computer science?
I believe that we are around 12 to 15% now in our two majors, computer science and software engineering, which has grown a lot since I joined the faculty in 2011. And I think that's in part to a lot of the outreach and in-reach programs that we've put in place to support women along the computing pathway.
Sure. Do you know how that compares nationally? Like, what are the numbers like nationally?
I don't know if I can quote a statistic of, you know, the women in computing majors to you, but I know that they're largely underrepresented in the computing
Still a
profession.
growth area for sure.
Yes.
Well, Sarah, it's been great to talk to you. Thank you for being with us
All right.
today.
Thank you.